Hi everyone, my name is Nathan Faith. I'm a financial planner with Boulay. Wanted to reach out with a quick video to speak to some year-end planning considerations, especially with things a bit up in the air on the political front. So as many of you know, there is an election that's set to run off for the final 2 Senate seats in Georgia on January 5th of 2021. And that election will decide whether the Republicans or the Democrats have a majority in the Senate for the next 2 years. Now keep in mind there's another midterm election for the Senate in the year 2022, so halfway through Joe Biden's presidential term. Now that can create some political risk, legislative risk with your tax planning. We're getting a lot of questions this time of year about whether one should accelerate income into this year, knowing that down the road tax rates may go up. So I want to provide you some insight into the tax landscape as it stands now versus potentially where it could go with the proposed agenda for Joe Biden. So on the left-hand side is a view of our current landscape. And on the right-hand side is a view of how things could potentially evolve with those changes. What I want to highlight is below this line here, $400,000 of income for a married couple, which is a lot of income. There aren't many changes of significance that are being proposed that would impact those tax filers. It's really for those folks who have income above that line, where they could expect to see higher tax rates on different types of income. So the first type of income is ordinary income, and that's income that comes from retirement accounts such as IRAs, or Social Security checks, or distributions from pensions. That income would hit top tax rates above $400,000. But another key component is how our portfolio income, specifically gains and dividends from stocks, could potentially be taxed. The biggest jump in the tax code would likely occur here, in which above $1 million of income for a married couple, one's tax rate on gains and dividends could potentially double. Now, when it comes to planning, typically moderation is the key, and a line that we're watching quite closely is this $400,000 line, in which tax rates are not set to increase significantly, even with the proposed agenda. Beneath these lines in the sand, a lot of income can be recognized in moderation each year. For instance, over $1/3 of IRA distributions, also known as Roth conversions, could potentially occur each and every year. Over the course of 5 or 6 years, one could transfer millions of dollars from their IRAs to their Roth IRAs without paying these much higher tax rates. The same goes for gains and dividends. One can harvest up to $1 million of gains and dividends in any given year and potentially stay below these much higher tax brackets. Those strategies are called tax bracket management. Who potentially would want to look at accelerating income aggressively here into 2020? It would be those folks who have an IRA that's north of about $10 million, because it'd be very difficult to keep IRA distributions down the road below this line when you're required to take distributions beginning at the age of 72. And for those of you who have very large gains built up in stocks or businesses in which you would have a sale or liquidity event in 1 year that would far and exceed this line, consider harvesting those gains here before year end in 2020, knowing that your top tax rate is enviably lower than what the top tax rate could potentially be down the road. With that, feel free to reach out to us at learnmore@bouleygroup.com for any questions about your specific personal situation. Thank you.